listening to Her Profit Era, the podcast for founders who want a business that actually works. A business that's profitable, predictable, and pays them well. I'm Cindy Kumar, a CPA, a fractional CFO from Abbotsford, BC, Canada. I'm the person founders call when they're tired of high revenue months with no money left over. I started this podcast because too many founders were chasing sales while their margins, cash flow, and bank accounts told a completely different story. I believe profit and money in the bank is the standard, not a bonus, and that every founder deserves clarity around their numbers. Each week, you'll get real financial strategy you can actually use and honest conversations with founders and industry experts about what it really takes to build a business that lasts. I get the question all the time, how do you plan out your weeks and make time for everything? So in today's episode, I just want to break down my weekly and monthly kind of routine. If you want to learn more about my content kind of strategy, I have a separate episode I released a few weeks back you can listen to after this episode. So I'd highly encourage you, if you need help, you feel like you're blocked with content, check out that episode. So I run an accounting practice going through tax season right now. I also am building up my fractional CFO advisory practice. I run this podcast. I release two episodes a week. I also have two Instagram handles at Elevated Accounting and it's Cindy Kumar. One's my accounting advisory page. The other is my personal brand and just me just sharing my thoughts and opinions. I also work out and starting to take care of my body, going through keto, doing all of these things. And I just feel like when you think about everything, it's a lot. It's overwhelming. And I know I don't have kids yet, but I'm sure if you do have kids, your schedule is probably even more busier than mine is. But what's really helped me, and it took me 3 years getting to this point because it's so much trial and error. So before it was I was doing a little bit of everything every single day. And I just found you can't be doing tax returns, client profitability, cash flow, analysis stuff the same days you're running client meetings. It just doesn't work. And then the same with workouts as well. Just I would go to workouts and rush home, quickly shower, get on a client call. And then it's my lunch, everything. I was just not taking care of myself. Everything was rush, rush, rush. And it just didn't work for me. So I'm gonna share how I structure my weeks. Now, yours is gonna vary depending on what's important to you. But what I usually do is I'll sit down on a Sunday and the first thing I do is I open my Google Calendar for the week. I put my workouts in. So I like working out Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. F45 workouts are at 9:30. So pretty much I leave home at 8:45. At F45 ends at 10:15. By the time I get home, shower, it's about 11:15. So Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, my day does not start till pretty much 1 o'clock. And that's okay. That's what I want. Now, Mondays, I don't like talking to people. I just want Monday to be a flex day. So I'll do my workout and then I'll come home, have my lunch. Sometimes I'll do client work. Other times I just want to create content or work on the business. So Monday is that day. And then Tuesday is like my client workday. So that's when I'll be doing the tax returns, looking at my workflow, answering emails, going through all of that. And it's just like a fully work focused day. Now, Wednesdays, it has been client calls, but since I work out in the mornings, I feel like I'd rather just have the day to myself. So right now I'm doing client calls just with the season I'm in with like tax season, but I think I'm not gonna do calls on Wednesday anymore, and it might just be like a podcast day or something. So that's what I'm thinking about Wednesday. Otherwise, I schedule my client calls like after 1 p.m. And then same with Thursday. So Thursdays, I usually do client calls and I start them after like 1 p.m. That still gives me my like slow morning. I get time to go for a walk, do what I need to do, answer emails, deal with stuff, like things happen. And then Fridays, I do my workout. I have like a flex day. I don't like doing client calls on like Fridays either. So right now, Fridays are just like used for just getting like client work done. And then Saturdays and Sundays, I don't like to plan anything and just going with the flow. So, like, I was doing like workouts on the weekends, waking up early, and then I just feel so exhausted because I'm going hard like all week, including the weekends. So now I don't schedule anything on the weekends. And then Sundays, I find is like a nice work day. Like right now, with tax season, I am working on Sundays and just like half day, and then I'm just getting like returns done. It's more of like a client work kind of day. And then Monday goes back to the same thing. And then at the end of every single month, I'll schedule work on the business CEO kind of week. And that's where I'm batching the podcast episodes. So I'm recording a minimum 4 solo episodes. And then if I have guest episodes like throughout the month that I've done, I'm just editing, putting those together, and then scheduling them. And then same thing with content. My goal is 12 posts for the month. So three a week, and that's it. And that's just what's been working well for me. So it's really about having structure in place. And another thing I've started doing is like I would do money dates every second week, but now I'm doing them every single week, which is really good cash flow wise because I like to pay my credit card off like every single week, and I know how much I'm spending. So I'm very intentional about like how much I'm spending, where it's going, and making sure like I have that money already like kind of saved up. So even when I'm going to Costco, like I'm being intentional about like, okay, look, what am I buying this week? How much have I spent? And then when I have that money date, I just went to Costco that week. I'm putting money on my credit card, and that Costco purchase has been paid off. Same with like my personal credit card. Same with like my business card. So now that I went to Vegas, like I pretty much just paid it off like right away with like my vacation savings fund. And the more you do this on like a weekly kind of basis, the easier it becomes on like cash flow too, because then you're monitoring, okay, like what client has paid me so far, which clients are still coming up, which ones do I need to reach out to and remind them, or maybe I need to send them an engagement letter for them to sign so we start the process. But if you're just like winging it, really tracking anything, then it becomes so much harder to like make sure like your cash flow is coming in on time, because that's the biggest thing with like tax season right now. A lot of cash is coming in right now, but it's like if I'm not intentional about like putting my tax percentage away in the tax savings account or like my emergency savings, it's like if I'm just gonna spend as just much as I'm making during tax season, then like what's the point? I'm really trying to build up my emergency savings. I'm fully lean with like my expenses right now. So it's more of just like paying off my credit card, paying off the remaining balance on my line of credit, like just making sure I'm fully debt free so that I'm good cash flow wise. So that's how I structure my schedule. It's working right now, and it could change down the road, like once I have kids, or like I want to change up my schedule, my workout schedule, or even like when tax season's done, a lot of the Sundays that I do work, I won't have to work. So find what works for you, but the best thing you can do for yourself is sitting down on a Sunday and putting in all the important things. So whether like you have a social life, you go out with friends and family a lot, you're visiting family, birthdays, like anniversaries, like whatever it is, make sure like you have all that stuff in your calendar and like you're giving yourself space and time. So like when I take that week off for CEO week, like I'm making sure I have time to just chill. And then also understanding what's important to you. Like, if you want to travel, when do you want to travel? Do you have money saved up for that traveling? Another thing is like just understanding if you are self employed and you're in your own business, why can't you do stuff on weekdays? Like going out for happy hour, working on your business while like it's not even busy, or like booking like your hair, nails, whatever it is, like during the week, going on a trip like midweek, going to see a movie during the week. Like I feel like we've been so programmed to save everything until the weekend, like laundry, groceries, all that kind of stuff. But it's like, wouldn't you rather do it during a time where people are at work or school and like you can just chill and do it? I feel like we always say like Sundays are like grocery days, laundry, we're doing all this stuff on Sunday, but it's like just be intentional. Like if you have time in your calendar and you always go to Costco when it's super busy, it's like, okay, why can't I go first thing in the morning when Costco opens on like a Tuesday morning? So that's what I've started to do, and it's like so much like fun, and it's so much nicer going to places when it's like quieter. So I would say just like be creative with your schedule, do what works for you. When it comes to like content, client work, looking at like working on your business, I would say is the most important thing because like by building this routine, this schedule, doing things on Sundays, it's allowed me to be like 3 months ahead of schedule on like every single thing. So even billing my clients like 3 months ahead. I had people doing like tax planning in like Q3, Q4. So it's like really understanding how your business works and making sure you're on top of it. So like if a client's expected to renew, then you should be planning that out now, not the month where their contract expires. Because then you're already training them to understand, okay, like I've worked with you, everything is going well, so let's just keep continuing. And it just becomes so much natural. So try this out, schedule your weeks on Sundays, and see how things change for you. Let me know how it goes. For me, I'm a type A person, very structured. I just need like to make sure like everything, if it's not on my calendar, it's not happening. But then also understanding like you don't need to jam pack your calendar either. Give yourself like space. So like in between client calls as well. Schedule like a 15-20 minute like break. For myself, between 12 to 1, I have lunch break on my calendar, making sure I take that time. Because before I was just quickly eating between like client calls. I wasn't even like eating lunch properly or had proper time. I'd have my breakfast and then I'd just be like rushing in between meetings. And like everything just felt so rushed. I'd feel so anxious all the time. And it's just like I never gave myself the space to just like breathe, take care of myself. And like I feel like corporate just teaches you that. Like it's like we have to get this done, we have to get that done. Like it's just rush, rush, rush. And it's like, what are we rushing for? Like take a breath, schedule space in between clients. And one thing I have realized is that like when I have these calls with clients, it's like you can pick up in their energy. So if they're anxious about their taxes or like their CRA account or like something is happening, you pick up on that energy. And like it's important to just give yourself like space to just release that energy, take some deep breaths, go for a quick 5 to 10 minute walk, like whatever it is, just give yourself that space because if you're just go with your clients and then you have like family obligations, like cooking food, groceries, all the like the obligations and responsibilities as well, you're just gonna burn yourself out. So like make your schedule work for you and not your clients. Like really set those boundaries so that you can actually enjoy that work that you do. So try it out. Let me know how it goes. And once you start doing it, like on Sundays, you get into the habit of doing it. So now that my routine and structure is like similar every single week, like I'll schedule my workouts in for like 2 weeks. And then if I need to adjust it, so now like I have weddings and things coming up, it's like, okay, like how do I get my 3 workouts in even though this is going on? Or where do I need to adjust things? So I want you to know failing to plan is planning to fail. So really be intentional about how you use your energy, where you're spending it, and don't be afraid to schedule a life that works for you. You don't have to have a schedule that looks exactly like mine or someone else that has a similar business as you. It really needs to work around your schedule. After all, that's why we started our own businesses. So we're not stuck in that corporate 9 to 5 kind of grind. So that's it for today's episode. I'll see you next time. If you're a founder who wants real strategy, not noise, and you want someone in your corner helping you build a business that feels aligned, is profitable, and actually supports your life, you can apply for CFO on Call. This is my one-on-one financial partnership for established founders, typically making between $500K to $2 million, who want clarity, who want structure and confidence with their numbers. The link is in the show notes so you can schedule a profit strategy call, or you can DM me CFO on Instagram at @CindyKamar and I'll send over all the details.